The South China Sea, a vast expanse of strategic waterways, home to fragile, ancient coral reefs.
For centuries, these submerged atolls in the Spratly Islands remained largely untouched by heavy industry.
But in late 2013, the horizon shifted. An unprecedented engineering fleet arrived. Their mission was staggering in scale: to build islands where none existed.
Survey teams meticulously mapped the submerged atolls, identifying the shallowest points.
The vanguard of this operation was the cutter suction dredger, a leviathan of modern engineering.
Skilled operators positioned the vessels precisely over the targeted coral beds.
Beneath the waves, the dredger lowers its primary weapon, a colossal, rotating cutter head. With immense power, it violently grinds into the seafloor, pulverizing rock, sand, and coral.
This process creates a thick, sediment-rich slurry, vacuumed up by massive underwater pumps. The pulverized seabed is channeled through a sprawling network of floating pipelines. Crews work relentlessly to maintain the immense pressure within the delivery lines. At the discharge point, the slurry is violently blasted into the air.
This technique, known as rainbowing, rapidly deposits millions of tons of material.
Slowly, the ocean yields. A dark mound of reclaimed earth pierces the water's surface. The first phase of land reclamation is a success, but the work has only just begun. With the foundation laid, the project transitions from dredging to heavy construction. Heavy earth-moving equipment is deployed directly onto the newly formed terrain. Fleets of bulldozers work in tandem to level the uneven, dredged material. Vibrating rollers compact the loose sand, forcing out excess water to create a stable base. Every square meter is meticulously planned for future infrastructure.
The scale is staggering, transforming fragile ecosystems into sprawling construction sites.
Sand alone cannot withstand the fury of the open ocean. Reinforcement is required. A thick layer of gravel and aggregate is spread across the perimeter to prevent erosion. To permanently secure the island, massive concrete batching plants are erected on site. Millions of tons of concrete are mixed to lock the shifting sands in place. Cranes hoist massive, interlocking concrete tetrapods designed to absorb wave energy.
These defensive seawalls ring the newly created land, a fortress against the typhoons of the South China Sea.
At locations like Subi Reef, the reclamation forms a massive, protected inner lagoon. Inside these atolls, the dredgers continue to work, carving out deep water basins. These channels are excavated to accommodate the draft of massive naval and merchant vessels. Deep water ports are constructed, featuring extensive reinforced concrete piers.
The logistics network rapidly expands, turning a sandbank into a fully operational maritime hub.
At Fiery Cross Reef, the ultimate strategic objective begins to take shape. Engineers map out a massive, perfectly flat corridor stretching for miles.
The foundation is laid for a piece of infrastructure that will change the region's balance of power.
Heavy paving machinery rolls forward, laying down military-grade asphalt and concrete. A 3-kilometer runway emerges, capable of landing any aircraft in the Chinese military arsenal.
The creation of these airfields projects air superiority deep into contested waters.
Alongside the runways, heavy construction begins on support facilities.
Reinforced aircraft hangars are built, designed to shelter fighter jets from harsh weather and potential strikes. Underground and above-ground bunkers are poured with thick, reinforced concrete.
With the infrastructure secure, the island is ready to be armed. Advanced radar systems and communication domes are hoisted into position.
These sensory arrays provide an unblinking eye over the region's airspace and shipping lanes.
Mischief Reef, once a submerged hazard, is now a sprawling, fortified outpost.
The bases are designed for continuous, 24-hour operation.
Where there was once dark ocean, a city of light and steel now stands.
Topsoil is imported to plant vegetation, an attempt to stabilize the land and create a habitable environment.
Multi-story barracks and administration buildings are constructed to house thousands of personnel.
To sustain life hundreds of miles from the mainland, massive desalination plants are brought online. Power grids, fueled by generators and renewable energy arrays, are established. In total, over 30,200 acres of new land were rapidly manufactured from the sea.
The completion of the airfields allows for heavy transport planes to deliver supplies and munitions directly.
Anti-aircraft and anti-missile systems are installed inside hardened shelters.
The deepwater ports serve as forward operating bases for a rapidly expanding naval fleet.
Defense analysts call it a methodical campaign, a chain of sea-capable fortresses. The speed and scale of the construction earned it a formidable nickname. Officially claimed as public service and research stations.
The reality of the Great Wall of Sand is an unyielding projection of power.
The dredging phase eventually concluded, but the geopolitical ripples had only just begun.
Millions of tons of sand and concrete forever altered the geography of the South China Sea. What was once submerged reef is now a permanent, fortified reality. Constructed not just with steel and stone, but with sheer, relentless will. From the ocean floor to the skies, the zone is now actively monitored. The 9-dash line, once a line on a map, is now reinforced with concrete. Nature relentlessly tests the artificial land, but the engineering holds firm.
Behind closed doors, the true military capability of these islands is closely guarded.
The massive lagoons provide sheltered harbor for vast fleets.
While some facilities focus on marine research, the underlying strategic purpose remains clear.
A rapid response network is now fully operational across the Spratly Islands.
Coastal defense systems point outward, securing the newly claimed perimeter. The runway stands as a massive, immovable aircraft carrier.
Lighthouses are built, serving as aids to navigation and symbols of sovereignty.
A guiding light for some, a clear warning to others.
Logistics chains from the mainland ensure the outposts remain fully supplied.
Garrisons are stationed year-round, maintaining high readiness.
The ultimate test of these structures is the extreme weather of the South China Sea. The interlocking seawalls shatter the waves, protecting the infrastructure behind them.
The Great Wall of Sand endures, an engineering marvel born of geopolitical ambition.
Unmanned aerial vehicles expand the patrol radius far beyond the horizon. Beneath the surface, reinforced tunnels connect vital command centers. A web of communication infrastructure links these remote islands directly to the mainland.
Despite the massive reclamation, efforts to study the remaining marine life continue. The islands serve as the ultimate forward staging ground. What was once an isolated reef is now a highly organized, functioning municipality.
Vast fuel depots ensure ships and aircraft can operate indefinitely. An undeniable footprint of human engineering imposed upon the ocean. The perimeter is secured, a strict line drawn in the shifting waters.
Every movement in the surrounding sea is tracked and recorded.
The islands anchor a massive defensive and offensive capability in the region. The sheer human labor required to build these outposts is almost incalculable.
They are unsinkable aircraft carriers, forever altering the strategic landscape.
Maintenance is constant. The ocean relentlessly attempts to reclaim the land. Engineers fight a continuous battle against erosion and salt corrosion. Survival here depends entirely on an unbroken chain of logistics. A declaration of presence, built on a foundation of crushed coral and sand.
3 primary fortresses, forming a strategic triangle in the South China Sea.
Their offensive capabilities are kept hidden, but ever present.
A fleet of advanced fighters sits ready, sheltered from the elements.
The scale of the project was meant to overwhelm and establish de facto control. An oasis of military power in the middle of a vast, empty sea. Thousands of workers rotated through these remote sites, executing a master plan.
Replaced by garrisons tasked with holding the new territory.
The tides change, but the Great Wall of Sand remains.
An undeniable sentinel, watching over one of the world's busiest shipping lanes.
Built to withstand typhoons and designed to withstand geopolitics.
The project fundamentally changed the strategic calculus of the region.
From a submerged reef to a permanent geographical feature. At night, the ports buzz with activity, a ceaseless military hub.
Every angle of approach is calculated, defended, and reinforced.
The dredgers that built these islands have moved on, their historic task complete.
Leaving behind a network of highly advanced, heavily armed outposts.
A territorial claim cemented not just by words, but by millions of tons of earth.
This is the reality of the Great Wall of Sand.
A controversial, unprecedented feat of modern engineering. A fortress of sand and steel, standing silent guard in the South China Sea.